Welcome again to Gary's Garage, episode 4. It's 9:45. Tony's going to come this afternoon, just going to give you an update on progress. So I'll show you in a minute the bearings we took out the swing arm. Dreadful, absolutely dreadful. Yeah, so we've progressed well. We've split the casings, and I'll show you one or two things that we've done and what we're about to do, and hopefully the good old rebuild starts this afternoon. Right, so here we are. Got the video with a crack in the swing arm. I went to Maidstone Motor Liners this morning, and whilst he would weld it, because of where it is and the structural nature, he advised me to go to KAS Welding, which is off of Gasoline Alley in Russo. I met with Barry, nice guy. Said yeah, no problem. So got to get it blasted, but also I need to clean up the journals where the bearings are, and then blank them off, like a bit of studding, washers and all that, because when I get it blasted, sandblasted, I don't want it to take any of the material away from where the bearings sit, so the bearings are still nice and snug. I cannot believe the state of these bearings. If you take this one, if you can see it, rotten, absolutely rotten. This one's slightly better, but still rotten, and there's evidence on both of these that like this one got the powder coating on the edge of the bearing. That's all got inside the bearing. And this one, this is what was on the glorious swing arm. So as you can see from these, they were absolutely, or they still are, absolutely rotten. Two of the needle bearings are missing. One fell out in the parts washer. Don't know why I washed them, just to see the condition. But they are just full of detritus, powder coating, everything else. I think after checking out the swing arm, it looks as though they've been powder coated, and they haven't cleaned the powder coating on, forced the bearing in, and that's what's cracked the swing arm. Yeah, don't really know what to say about that. It's the story of this bike. I need to get them sandblasted, soda blasted, whatever I'm going to do, to find out what other horrors await me before we get that crack welded up. So I'm just waiting for Tony to arrive, and we'll have another crack at getting that clutch basket off. So this is the bottom half, the crank half. The crankshaft looks in good condition. All the bearings, shells, etc. look pretty good. That's some gearbox, that is. And over here we have all the other elements that were a bugger to get out. Already explained about the clutch, and this little unit here, which is the crank balancer unit. Intriguing, but there you go. This is the top half. Again, the shells look pretty good. Got to clean up the surfaces, obviously. This has only just come out. And there's the journal for the missing seal, which I've just prepped a little bit, tried to clean up where it was damaged around the edges. That was it. Another little thing we did when we took the split the casings is we made up a little cardboard template of exactly where each bolt goes, so we won't fall foul of anything when it goes back together. So that's that. We've still got the sheared off studs. I've ordered a tool this morning, which is advertised as a stud removal tool. So as you can see, these are all the bits and pieces. The bottom end, I had another gasket turn up this morning, which is the crankcase breather gasket, which we took off. One thing I will say about splitting the casing. So when you take all of the bolts out, behind the crankcase balancer unit is another little 8mm bolt, which you really cannot see until you take it out. The good old workshop manual does tell you to take that out and exposes where all the bolts are. I mean, I'm pretty lucky. I've got this thing, which is invaluable. It is like a Haynes manual on steroids, so it literally goes into everything. So I'm about to carry on, just going through everything, making sure we're ready for the rebuild. We've got everything in place. I will give a shout out to Del Boy's Garage, because he recommended this stuff as a sealant. Apparently it's used by all the top bods, which are much cleverer than me, so we'll use that as the sealing compound, and see how we get on with that. So we've had a bit of a clean up, cleaned all the gasket surfaces on the bottom end and the top end, and I'll just give you a quick look. So here we have the bottom end, all cleaned, degreased, and all residue of the old gaskets off. Been cleaning up here as well, and just to let you know, when you insert the crank balancer, you've got this line, and that dot lines up with an arrow on the casing. And there you can see the little arrow on the casing where the crank balancer goes, and you insert that in line with that. The crank balancer arm, I don't know if you can see, you probably see that it's got little markings all the way around, and you can adjust this once it's installed with the engine running. This is the bottom half, all nice and clean, surfaces clean, all ready to accept it, just waiting for Tony to come over, and hopefully we'll get these two married up together. Now I still have the problem of the 3 sheared bolts, the header bolts for the exhaust. 2 are proud by about 10mm. I've ordered a special tool to try and get them out, and 1 is flush, which I've started to drill, ready to get some extractors in there. Hopefully it will. If not, we may have to drill that out and retap it, but we'll see how we go. It's going to be a challenge, that one. After everything, splitting the casings, doing the engine, putting the seals in, putting it all back together, it's just a walk in the park. But to get those bolts out, I think is going to be tough. Right, it's been a long day. It's nearly 6:45 on a Saturday. Tony came over. I didn't think we'd get as much done as we did, and thanks to touching wood, everything went really well, and I'll show you what we've done. So the bolts that sheared off, 1, 2, 3, we couldn't get them out, they were stuck solid, so we had to re-drill, re-tap. They come out a lot better than expected, although we've done them 1 size smaller, in M7s, just to give us a bit of leeway in case we're slightly off the centre. As you can see, most of the engine is back together. I've got to sort the clutch out. On this side, I was short a couple of gaskets. I need a generator cover gasket, and this This is only on finger tight because I need a gasket for the starter motor gearing. Also need to sort the clutch out. Need to get, Tony's going to see if we've got, because these look very similar to the Gixxer 750. So if they are, and he's got a 2mm, I'm going to swap him for a 2.3. Cleaned all the bearings off, awaiting new bearings. That's it really. As I say, everything went swimmingly. Drilled and tapped, so they're ready. I've got another shopping list, because something else that we noticed today was the speedo rotor is missing a leg. So I'm going to have to get another one of those. But the gaskets I've already said, so I need some M7 cap screws, 30mm long, and the speed sensor rotor. At the moment, still waiting to get the frame and swing arm into powder coating, not powder coating, into what happens when you get to my age, shot blasting, and see what comes back from that. It could be horrors. And then I've still got to get the swing arm welded once that's done, by the guy Barry that I spoke to you earlier, down at Gasoline Alley. So once that's all done and there's no other disasters, then I just need to get new swing arm bearings, new bearings for the shock absorber, new dog legs because they had the wrong dog legs in. Once that's done, once the frame's done, engine can go back in a frame, can get it back on the arbor stand, and then start slowly getting it back together. Had a discussion with Tony today regarding final finish. There was a number of options. Try and get new fairings, which would come to an absolute fortune. Get it vinyl wrapped, but I don't know so much. At the end of the day, I think what we decided, or what I decided, was once we're all back together, up running, and I know everything's good, I'm just going to have to spend a few quid, find a nice sprayer to spray it back to the fairings are in good nick, to be fair. So just to get them resprayed back to the bronze and silver colour, and I'll be happy. But there's a long way to go before that. We had another discussion about front forks. I bought a set of front forks as like a donor set to try and make a good pair. But I don't know if I've said it already, but when they came, unbeknownst to me, and despite my complaining, the front mudguard bracket was ground off. So it's not there. So the next bet with the forks is maybe keep an eye out for a set of bent forks. The tubes I don't need. I've got 4 sets of tubes. If they come in good nick, that's all good. I just need the bottom end, basically. And if they're not too bad, Maidstone Motorliner will straighten them anyway. So that's it. It's been a long one today. Started about 9:30. Now it's 7:15. So 10 hours, 10 or so hours in the garage. But we got a lot done. A lot of important stuff has been done. So I'm well pleased. Until next time.